Alright, yeah, my teachers always told me I'd never amount to nothing, and they may have been right. That's why I jump on a mic every night. 'Cause when I jump on the mic, that's how I know that I'ma be alright. Well, I'ma be alright.
You know, career-ending move, 20 years of teaching, never seen that happen to anyone, but there is some skills you can do with it as well when you're dealing with parents, whether it be on the phone, in person, via email, or any other methods. There is a way to approach these to make sure you're being effective and professional at all times. So, step number one, get clear before you communicate. So if you're talking about behaviour, if you're talking about academics, if you're talking about attendance to class, they're the three main issues that normally I'm going to be phoning home as a teacher or a head department when I'm dealing with individual students with parents. Okay, now if it's behaviour or sort of less desirable behaviour, I want to have an idea in my mind what's happening to start with. So usually most schools have some kind of internal reporting system. I'll have that drawn up on my screen in front of me just to sort of talk through the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, whatever it happens to be, of the student's behaviour during the class. Okay, that way it's a starting point. And that way if it were to go pear-shaped for whatever reason, you can always bring yourself back to what's actually happening in front of you. Stick to the observed facts. Don't get any emotion into it. My feeling is, in these situations, as long as you come across reasonable and professional, parents are going to work with you. Okay, most parents want the best for their daughter or son. If you come in there with an open mind looking to improve, but have you state your case, that's where the optimum level of effectiveness is going to come from. Okay, and then understand or have an outcome that you want to achieve as well, whether it's improved behaviour, better attendance, or increased improvement in academics, or all three, whatever it happens to be, have that in your mind as your end game before you enter the conversation. Step number two, when you actually enter the communication with parents, start new. This is going to be a key factor, especially if you're newer to the teaching game or you just transitioned across, or a younger person or transitioned across from a previous career. There may be times that you feel like that you are being attacked. That's not the case. Okay, what you want to look at is go to understand there's going to be a neutral behaviour to this. Okay, you as a teacher want the best for the student, the parent wants the best for their son or daughter. The three, parent, teacher, student, working together, that's where you're going to get the best outcome from. Now, it's not easy, but that's the desired effect from it. Okay, don't be looking to blame anyone. Have any assumptions going in as well. Okay, my kids are still young, but I know if I went to high school and I'm on a parent night or a teacher's contacted me, if someone comes to me with assumptions or whatever, I'm not saying that will happen, I'll get frustrated as well. Because every person's unique, every student's unique, every situation's unique. Okay, and I get it. Teaching's a very personalised thing, and students react different to teachers. But just go in there as a teacher with a clean slate, looking to get your outcome. Step number three, stick to the facts, not opinions. This is where I go back to during your prep stage before you actually make the communication, on the initial communication, have it written out. Okay, so again, most schools, at least in Australia or West Australia, have some kind of internal management system, especially for behaviour. You can bring up the student's profile, so to speak, or whatever the correct terminology is, and sort of track what's happened in class. And it might not just be your class either, it might be happening across the board. You're as the teacher that's taking accountability and decide to phone home. Having that in front of you means that you've got something to refer to, okay? And you can see that's not just a one-off behaviour most of the time. It happened 3 days ago, it happened 2.5 weeks ago, then it happened again at the start of the month, or whatever it happened to be. And then when you're writing those specific behaviour entries, just make sure you keep emotion out of it. Keep it straight to the fact as well. Keep your language observable, specific, and neutral. Don't want to go beyond that. Step number 4, offer a path forward. Don't just state the facts and then think that everything's going to be great and that's my game over. I've made the hard move of making the contact with the parent now. It's just up to the parent. Okay, absolutely, everyone's got shared accountability here, student, teacher and parent. But, as the teacher, offer some ways forwards. If it's academics, what can they do to study, or in terms of revision outside of the classroom, what tools are around them, what resources can the student access to work with behaviour, what some short-term behaviour goals you can have in the classroom for that student. Okay, usually if I've got a consistently disruptive student to start with, I'll have some small behaviour goals, And then at the end of each of the week, I'll just email the parent home to check in. And that might have to go for 3, 4, 5 weeks. But usually after that consistency, that's when it'll start to drop off. And the behaviour, most likely for the previous negative student behaviour, has now become or better or it's improved. And then have collaboration as well. You might need to work with other sections in the school, student services, the nurses, school psychologists, chaplain, whoever it happens to be. Schools these days are building their support systems to help students. So feel free to reach out and work with other sectors. Okay, and it might be if you're brand new to teaching and you're not confident, have your head of department or you have your line manager sit in with you or sit nearby when you're making your first contact, just so you got someone there as well. Okay, all these things is going to help you with your difficult parent conversations. Okay, and most of the time, my experience, it's mostly in your head as well. You feel worst case scenario is going to happen, and then yes, you go through it and you're like, that wasn't anything like I thought it would be. Okay, my experience has usually worked out better than previous. So look, just a quick episode, guys, or quick video, to look at how to have conversations with parents, how to communicate with parents. Any ideas, any further instructions for me, leave in the comments. Like always, thanks for listening.